official holding from this case is that the children's best interests under the Juvenile Act trump even the parents' rights or interests in their own children. But the real holding, the one that you're not going to find in the italics in this case, is that the Appellate Court is helpless to fix a broken DCFS system. In the present case, DCFS's ineptitude resulted in 2 kids being cut off from their extended family and forced the court's hand in awarding custody to a foster parent due to a status quo that the agency's incompetency created. Now, I know that being a DCFS caseworker is an easy job. You're not traveling to Forest Glen. You're going to the rough side of the city. You're going to Austin, Inglewood, Fuller Park. And when you step foot on those streets, there's no question, as far as those residents are concerned, you're the enemy. Many DCFS caseworkers complain about the workload, the low pay, high stress, and despite this, most do an amazing job in helping children. But the last few years have boiled out a lot of bad apples as well. You can take the 2 DCFS caseworkers facing felony charges in McHenry County for allegedly looking the other way while this boy's parents tortured him to death. In 2019, a report indicated that DCFS often failed to follow its own policies when investigating cases of abuse and neglect, that the hotline used to report allegations, they can't handle the call volume, and caseloads for staff are too high. This toxic mix, I think, makes it tempting to take shortcuts. H.J. Freud was only one of 119 kids that died on DCFS's watch in 2019. And you don't hear about those other cases. And if there were any repercussions for misconduct by DCFS in those cases, in my mind, I think the punishment was at best this. Because there's no real redress when DCFS fails. Yes, in theory, you can file a 1983 action, but lawsuits cost money. DCFS knows this, and most of the parents impacted have barely any money to their name. And when it's difficult to hold people to task, and you're a DCFS caseworker that's buried in investigations, I imagine that temptation to take that shortcut can sometimes be irresistible. And those bad apples do a horrible disservice to the hundreds of DCFS caseworkers that are doing the right thing. Now, in my commentaries, I try to abstain from getting on a soapbox. These are supposed to be short videos that cover black letter law and nothing more. But as I read this case, it's clear reform with teeth is sorely needed. If a police officer cracks you across the face for no reason, chances are you have a pretty lucrative lawsuit on your hands. But if DCFS takes your kids or does nothing when it's apparent something's wrong, so sorry, so sad it seems. And that right there should tell you something is wrong. Hopefully someone from the ISBA will read this case and introduce meaningful reform with teeth to our state legislator, because that should not be the story of that.